Released April 16th, 2019 for PSVR and September 15th, 2021 for PC and PCVR by developer and publisher Tin Man Games. Today I'll be reviewing the recently released PCVR version. There is an optional flat version for PC, but Tables of Tales: The Crooked Crown is so much better in VR. Thanks to Tin Man Games for the review key.
Oh, hello there.
Table of Tales is an RPG tabletop sim that gave me so much more than I bargained for.
A gift from the future and a gift from the present.
My first experience with a tabletop sim, or any tabletop game for that matter, was a couple months back with Demio. And while playing Demio, I realized I found what's now perhaps my favorite genre. I was blown away, and maybe it's my ignorance towards the genre. But while I thought Demio had some room for improvement, I never imagined something like Table of Tales.
And you, my friend, are about to embark upon quite the adventure.
I'm not going to spend this entire review comparing the two, as they're both amazing in their own right. The way they share the same genre, but are so different in their own unique ways, has to be at least mentioned.
But to what end?
Table of Tales: The Crooked Crown immerses you in a way my apparently limited imagination could not have conceived. Let's talk the story. The story is played out in a combination of ways. There is a narrative, the plot, and by itself, let's say, if this were a book, it would be fine, able to entertain all ages without offending sensibilities or turning the reader off. But it's not just that. First, the story is skillfully narrated by the Table Master, a magical mechanical talking bird called Arbitrix, superbly voice acted. Then, there is the way in which the table is animated. These factors, coupled with the cherry on top, which is virtual reality, makes this one unforgettable story.
Running with a tough mob these days, eh, Hammer? I'm impressed, but these crims have been doing hard labour for years, and you won't crack 'em. Get 'em, gang.
You see, the story by itself, like I said, is fine, but alone, it would be considered that and nothing more. But when all these elements are combined, you will become highly invested. It's not the kind of presentation that would allow you to forget this story anytime soon.
What happened on the island didn't go unnoticed. Hopefully no one saw the scoundrels.
The tale is 4 characters with clearly questionable integrity charter a ship and set out to get some wrongdoings done. While at sea, misfortune befalls them. They're attacked by both man and nature. They lose a teammate and their captain. They get the chance to play would-be heroes, are celebrated, but 7 years later, their pasts return to haunt them. I won't go any further at the risk of spoiling the entire story, as although this title is firing on all cylinders, the story holds top spot. You need to experience it for yourself.
You must find out why the governor summoned you.
Let's talk sound. The sound is amazing. The sound effects, the perfectly fitting, expertly composed score, the ambient sounds, the 3D sound, the voice acting, which is all done by Arbitrix, top-tier stuff. I can honestly say though, there were a few times I thought to myself, if each character had a voice of their own, Table of Tales would have gone up even one more notch. But I totally get what they were going for. Tin Man Games wanted that storyteller vibe, and that's what is actually expected from the Table Master. So this isn't really a complaint, just a thought, and a fair one, as either way, it would be great to have heard individual voice actors, but again, I totally get it.
According to Patrick Quick, innocent fisher folk are being conned into working for the mastermind.
Visuals. The visuals here are beautiful, even within my PC's limited capacity. I'm not certain how much better this would have been on a better rig, if there will be more details in the waves and other textures. I really don't know, this being a PC release, but either way, I'm completely satisfied with what my rig could push out.
This time I'm blessed with power beyond imagination.
And the visuals actually look better in the headset than what you're seeing here.
It definitely moved. Keep going.
Here's the real star, the table's animations. When the game just started, I kinda expected the entire thing to play out on a ship, maybe fade to black and the ship changes or some such thing. I'm not 100% sure what I expected, but I did play Demio, and while pleased with Demio, I was not expecting this. The way the devs animated the environments, the locations on the table, the way the scenes transitioned, my chin was on the floor and it never stopped. As the game progressed, as the scenes continued to change, it was amazement after amazement. Now, perhaps there are other games like this out there, and others who have played them must be wondering, what's wrong with this caveman? But whatever, this is all new to me, and in VR, It's like you're really in that attic you see in the background. It feels like you're watching this table animate in real life. Yes, I am impressed. The only thing I could have asked for regarding the visuals was for the environment you see outside the attic's window to be animated as well, but no love lost. Oh, and yeah, after a point in the game, there was this glitch, where those floating wooden platforms just wouldn't go away, even after restarting. Not sure what that's about.
But you have more important things to worry about.
Let's move on to gameplay. Table of Tales is a turn-based, card-based RPG. The RPG element is very basic, quite light. As you progress, you're able to upgrade your character's skills through the use of a chest on the ship. The upgrades aren't that much, and I was hoping to see more. I expected my sorceress to wield crazy powers coming close to game's end, but she didn't. They all got extra abilities, strength and endurance buffs, but nothing to call a friend about. The thing is though, there was never a point in-game where I felt too underpowered. So while I would have wanted more, what's on offer is more than sufficient. You have on your team the usual suspects, your wizard-like character, a sorceress, a brute, the thief, and the alchemist I believe he is. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. The barbarian lady is great up close, with devastating power. The sorceress has great magical ranged attacks. The alchemist is good with healing and explosive weapons, and so on. At certain points on your quest, you have specific tasks that each are better at. Some may require brains and charm. Some may require agility and raw power. These attributes are also upgradable though. When presented with these tasks, which pop up quite often, you'll need to roll 3 dice. You can use, let's say, the strong lady with not much smart to solve a task that requires intellect successfully, but the odds are not in her favor when the dice roll. And it's like that with the others. The higher your capacity to complete a task, the better the odds are when rolling the dice. A cool and balanced mechanic.
They've done it! The torch's distinctive smell is already having a dramatic effect. Now to light the other 3.
There aren't a lot of boss fights, and there are no real puzzles either. Just some scenarios where common sense will prevail and a final boss, whose defeat further adds interest to the story. Because my only other tabletop experience was with Demio, I thought about being able to rotate the table. But with some thought, I figured it wouldn't be practicable, as both tables aren't the same, and the overall vibe and presentation is different. Mind you, I'm not 100% certain the tables can't be rotated, but I never found a way to do it. Neither did I find it necessary. I think the height can be changed, but I was fine with the default setup. I also found another glitch. I preferred to play without subtitles, but when I turned them off, although I saved the setting, it made no difference. The subtitles would come back every time I restarted the game.
I know we're not exactly buddies, but are we in this together or what?
So, to sum it up, Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown for PCVR got way more right than it got wrong, and is now up there as one of my favorite VR games, and perhaps one of my favorite games period. Thanks again to Tin Man Games for this opportunity. I'm now deep into a new gaming genre. If this title interests you and you'd like a key, just leave a comment on what appeals to you most about Table of Tales. I've got 2 Steam keys up for grabs, provided by the devs. First come, first serve.
I hope you're ready.
Thank you for watching. If you like my content, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If let's say I pissed you off with this glowing review though, then hey, we all know where to find those hate buttons, don't we? Hit them hard and keep it moving. Either way, I won't hold it against you. Our game is never over.
Anointed One, you have returned, and what glorious chaos you have brought us.